What's up, everybody? Mike here, and in this video I got an update regarding the Sony Kadokawa potential deal that's supposed to happen, where Sony is reconsidering Kadokawa's deal due to high costs. I'll give the reasons why this is happening, and personally, I'm happy it's them reconsidering. I hope they back off and back out of this, because no, I do not want them getting Kadokawa. So it's being reported that negotiations between Sony and Kadokawa have reached a stalemate due to the high cost of the acquisition would entail for PlayStation parent company. And following initial rumors, this did start off as a rumor. Kadokawa did confirm the discussions, highlighting the potential benefits for Sony, including access to a wealth of assets spanning anime, music, and video games. However, it seems unlikely we'll see Sony owning the studio behind Elden Ring anytime soon. Talks have stalled over Kadokawa's valuation, which Sony considers too high. According to Japanese outlet Toyo Kaiza, if I'm saying it right, Sony harbors serious doubts about whether acquiring Kadokawa is a profitable move. Kadokawa expects Sony to pay the full valuation of the company, exceeding 640 million yen, which is roughly, I think, 4.3 million USD. And then Sony, on the other hand, is only interested in assets relevant to its business, particularly the video games and anime sectors. Kadokawa insists on including other assets such as adult magazines and TV specialized press, areas that Sony finds unappealing. So there's basically a tug-of-war thing going on. This tug-of-war is not new, though, when it comes to video game industry stuff, when companies are trying to acquire other companies and whatnot. So Sony and Kadokawa have reportedly been negotiating for years, though, but talks always collapse due to Kadokawa's insistence on the complete buyout. So let's talk about if the deal goes through. All right, what would this mean for Sony if they do somehow acquire Kadokawa? Sony would acquire Kadokawa's 70% stake in From Software, as well as other studios like Spike Chunsoft and Acquire. Spike Chunsoft, you may know, recently developed Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Acquire is a dev team behind Octopath 1 and 2. Additionally, Sony would gain access to a vast library of anime content, opening up possibilities for new licenses and adaptations. Now, here's the thing, though, with that. Sony already owns a lot of the anime market anyway, with Crunchyroll and Funimation, right? And I think this would just give them even more. They wouldn't exactly own 100% of the anime market or anything like that, or companies, but this would just give them even more power over the anime market. And for anime fans, I don't know if you want Sony to have that much power. They already got a lot of sway and things like that going on right now. They're messing upon. So yeah, while Kadokawa's asking price may seem steep, it pales in comparison to the nearly 70 billion Microsoft paid for Activision Blizzard. So think about that. Notably, Sony spent 3.6 billion to acquire Bungie in a separate deal. However, Sony has already made significant recent investments, such as spending 1.2 billion for music rights to bands like Queen and Pink Floyd. If a bidding war arises, Sony might step back, leaving the door open for competitors like Microsoft, Tencent, or South Korea's Kakao Corporation. Honestly, I don't even want Microsoft getting them either, though. And I have no idea about that South Korea company, if they're like good or bad overall as a company. Tencent, we all know about Tencent, guys, and what they're doing to games and stuff like that. And Tencent's already got their hands in so much stuff in the video game industry. It's like, I don't want them getting it either. And you might be thinking like, well, what about From Software? Well, the creators of Dark Souls are key players in this story. In fact, From Software is believed to have played a role in encouraging Sony to pursue the acquisition, which is kind of crazy that they want to be bought by Sony. That's, oh man, Miyazaki, bro, what are you doing? Under Miyazaki's leadership, the studio has a strong relationship with Sony. We can't deny that. Many shareholders argue that securing exclusivity with Miyazaki alone would justify Sony meeting Kadokawa's price. Regardless of what happens, guys, though, there is going to be a decision on the acquisition expected to be reached by the end of this year, one way or another. So either Sony's going to get them or they're not. And Kadokawa's either going to stay by themselves or get acquired by somebody else. But that's crazy. Miyazaki wants to push, or it's basically in this article talking about how Miyazaki wants to, push for his studio to be acquired by Sony. Like, does he not understand what's been happening to a lot of studios that have been acquired? Layoffs, dude. And you said yourself that you would do your best not to have anybody laid off in your own development company, like development team on From Software. And guess what's going to happen if you let that happen, Miyazaki? Layoffs, my guy. Because if there's people that have like a role, filling the same role that Sony already has, I've talked about this before, and this is happening with Microsoft and other companies as well too. When you have people, or at least one person in the same role, or multiple people in that same role, or whatever, layoffs happen, dude. There's not that need financially. It doesn't make sense from a business standpoint to have it. You're going to consolidate. You're going to downgrade to someone, things like that. Not only that, I don't want freaking From Software future games to be exclusive to PlayStation for 1 or 2 years and then come to PC, and then it requires a PSN account, and then you already lock off all those people in countries, like I think it's 170 countries or something like that, that can't even make a PSN account because it's not available in their country. No, you're essentially gonna like have less sales on your games overall, Miyazaki. You're not gonna sell as well. You're locking yourself down to one platform for at least a 2-year time frame, versus when your games would drop out on both PlayStation, Xbox, and thirdly PC. You think Elden Ring sold that well because it's locked on one platform? No, it sold very well to this day because it's on multiple platforms. Like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand. Honestly, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, beyond what's being reported here. So I don't know what lens Miyazaki has that he's looking through and why he thinks this would be a good acquisition. Maybe there's some type of financial trouble going on that we don't know about behind the scenes, or something else going on. Maybe he doesn't have as much freedom as he wants to right now with creative. And maybe if he gets owned by Sony, they'll give him that creative because he's like earned it. I don't know. I'm just worried though. I don't want From Software games to be exclusive to PS5 or PS6, whatever the heck, and come out on PC 2 years later and then not be available to pretty much many people around the world like they are already. And you lock off those 170 countries that can't even make a PSN account, and Sony wants to be assholes and require people to have a PSN account on PC to play their games, single player or otherwise. It's stupid. But this is what I got for you guys. I'm going to stay focused on this story here, and as soon as new information comes out about it, I will let y'all know. I'll make another video, of course. So let me know your thoughts on this as well in the comments below. If you think this is good or bad, I respect your opinion either way. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want to join the Discord or go above and beyond with any support, such as YouTube memberships, Patreon, or direct donation/tip. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. My name's Mike. I'll see you next time.